what matters. Right, so do you want to do the opening remarks again, please, bruv?
Body listeners and viewers alike. This is our weekly podcast called The Football Referee, where obviously we discuss all matters football, some of which you will agree with the things we say, sometimes you won't, but hopefully you'll find it of interest. I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Brov.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos. Yeah, he does. Right, so welcome, welcome to the show. Um, we'll start with Manchester United. So, Ruben Amorim, according to ESPN Sports, he's paid for 30 of his backroom staff. I think that's how they've put it. So he's paid for 30 of his backroom staff to go on holiday with their family.
All right.
Now, and that's because the management of Manchester United has asked them to, pay for their own trips. Now, what is really happening there? I don't get it. Why can't the management pay for there's physios as well? They have to pay for it.
Mm.
Why is it on the shoulders of the manager to then pay that? What is Jim Ratcliffe looking to lose public opinion? I don't get it. What is going on there? What do you make of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, a couple of things there. Jim Ratcliffe clearly is a new broom trying to sweep very clean. But of course, the owners also are the Glazers, the American Glazer family.
Yeah,
And Jim Ratcliffe obviously has very significant number of shares. So he's making these decisions. Um, I didn't know that Amorim had said he would pay for them to do that. I mean, it's obviously not, he was not told to do that. I guess it's his own voluntary thing.
yeah,
But in another way, and I don't know whether this goes against the grain of what others think, but you could say, why should the club pay? They pay these people salaries, probably pretty good salaries, depending on what the job is, I suppose. But why should they then also pay for their holidays? Would another business necessarily pay for their employees to go on holiday and all that involves with their families? Or would
yeah,
they say, no, we give you a fair salary, a fair wage, you've got to pay for your own stuff? So I don't think I'd be down on that. I mean, all credit to Amorim for doing that. He obviously
yeah,
thinks these people deserve it. And let's face it, Jim Ratcliffe got rid of a lot of backroom jobs, didn't he? I mean, I
yeah,
seem to remember he got rid of 200 and then another load, whether that was another 100 or something. And you wonder what were these people doing in the first place.
yeah.
But but yeah, I wouldn't so much hold that against the club personally.
Right.
I mean, the only thing against that what I've said is if that's become an accepted part of their job, of their benefits, of their income, then it's a bit rich to suddenly pull it without giving warning and without maybe, staggering it over 2 or 3 years. So that
Mm.
might make a difference. But otherwise, I'm not sure why they should pay for their employees' holidays.
Mm. Well, you might have a point there. I never saw it through. I never looked at it that way. I just thought, well, the club should be footing the bills, but obviously, like you said, the club does have a right to say, well, we pay you a fair wage. You foot your own bills. Yeah, so fair point there. Now the other one is still on Amorim and United. The other one is we're obviously in the Europa finals.
I know, yeah.
In the Europa finals,
I know, yeah.
and if we win, that's an automatic qualification to the Champions League next season. Now, the problem there is there's a conflict of interest according to some sources. that United could be banned because Jim Ratcliffe actually has a conflict of interest, they call it, don't they? With the club is other European clubs. Now, I don't think that's been clearly sorted out, but there was an issue there. Now, I believe you understand it. I don't understand what's going on there. What is it about?
I'm not sure what other clubs he owns. Do you know what clubs he owns or has interest in?
I think it's a French club,
Right.
and I can't remember if they were in the competition at the early stages. No, I can't remember that. I can't confirm that. But now I don't remember the name of the club, but I know it's a French club that he owns. Now that might have been brushed aside now. I don't know, but or maybe he has to pay some fines or whatever. But why would he have to do with? Why would he have anything to do with being, winning the competition and not being able to play in the Champions League? I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean the laws, as I understand them in England, in Britain, if you like, but the English leagues,
Right.
an owner can only have an interest or an ownership in one club. You can't have the owner of Fulham also owning part of Queen's Park Rangers or the like. So that's a very clearly laid down situation and law that cannot happen. But it doesn't. It clearly doesn't happen with international ownership. I mean, we know with some Americans, for example, the owners of Wrexham, who's Ryan Reynolds and his actor colleague, they own Wrexham, but I believe they also have interests in America, and I'm not sure what clubs they have interested in, but there are other Premier League owners who also own, say, a baseball or an ice hockey team in the States. So there's no law breaking there. That happens. So I can't imagine I suppose it might depend if there suddenly became a competition, for example, of American soccer teams playing British soccer teams for quality.